Hello and welcome back to another pretty HD video. Today we've got episode 3 of the Classics. This time we are doing September 2014 and I really can't wait to see what will happen in this current month. We've got players being called out on international duty, quite a lot of English players of course. In fact, our English squad is pretty much one of the best that the English squad is going to have of all time, because we've got some of the best players of all time. I mean, not the best players of all time, because Blues never had the best players of all time, but had a few pretty damn good players, and a few English players that could have easily been in a World Cup winning squad, in my opinion. The likes of Francis really could have been there, but it was just a shame of the way that it fell for him. But of course, we've got the game against Manchester United this month. Let's see whether it's the one that we're going to play. It seems it is going to be. We've got Stoke City and Southampton. Stoke City at home and then Southampton away. And then we've got this away fixture at Old Trafford against Man United. I think this is a pretty crucial fixture to play, in my opinion. So it will be this one that we will be playing, and I really can't wait for it. Let's see whether we can get our first playing 3 points, that is. So me actually playing the game. So now we've got a game against Manchester United. This part is post-commentary. I will be mixing it up a bit. The games that I actually play will be partially live-com and partially post-com. That's the team that we're setting up with. And now here we are. Old Trafford, big day, big occasion. We're looking for our first victory that we've actually played a game in. So last time we actually played a game, it was against Spurs, and we drew 1-1. That means that one of our players that we can unlock, Ronaldinho, Iniesta and Terry, are already eliminated from the question. We've got to win this, because if we lose this, then there's even more pressure. Plus, it's not only there's even more pressure, it's that we won't have the other two players that we can still unlock until very late in the season. The last of that player will be very late in the season. We might get 1 or 2 games out of him maximum if we don't win this game. You can see Larson goes off injured as well, which is a really, really annoyance. But a brilliant ball over to Bradford. That is literally possibly one of the best over-the-top through balls that I have ever played. And Bradford just completely whacks it into the corner of the net. And he's like a storm, isn't he, Bradford? He adds another one to his tally. The top goal scorer ever to wear a Birmingham shirt adds another one. And it's chalked up at 1-0 here against Manchester United at Old Trafford. Maybe a bit lucky as well, because it's been a very, very cut-out game. We've been completely cancelling each other out, me and Man United. But here, Rooney gets the header. It's a brilliant save by Merrick. You've got to applaud him. But my defenders just really didn't help him out there. They could have done so much better. And Juan Mata won the header of all people against all my defensive tall centre-backs. Page, though, plays the through ball to Bradford as Man United play a bit of bad football. And just on the stroke of half-time, Bradford gets his second and gets our second. 2-1 lead here against Man United. That is just perfect. We concede, but then luckily, just before the stroke of half-time, we manage to get one back, which is just brilliant. You can see what it means to the team. The whole team comes over just before the half-time interval and celebrates with us. But it isn't the end there. Francis goes through, beats his man for pace, deluded Johnny Evans, completely avoided him, and well, the contrast of the game has suddenly, well, it's completely changed the complexity of it, hasn't it? And 3-1 at half-time, I swear, in the dressing room, we must have been so much happier, because we suddenly got a 2-goal lead, and Bradford once more goes through, could go sweaty, but we don't. Bradford's a predator, isn't he? He can just completely outclass defences. He can single-handedly play in every way that he possibly wants. It was just a brilliant performance by him, a simply perfection performance by him, almost perfection anyway. And I mean, He almost hit perfection this game. Despite Valdez getting a touch on it, the Man United goalkeeper is pretty much helpless in that situation. And yes, that is really poor, but I didn't intend for the pass to go straight to him. I wanted it to more curl down the right so my player could run onto it. I did click through ball for that very reason, so my player could run onto it, and so it didn't just end up intercepted. But it's okay, 4-2 still, and a chance to go 5-2 up as Bradford claims his 4th goal of the day. That is just simply magical. 4 goals, 5-2. This game is just full of goals and a complete shambles, really. Forcell ends up getting it, comes back up to Tate, he stays composed, plays it into Francis, and well, you couldn't get any more composed. He just passes it into the net, and on the line, it beats 3 players, 1 on the edge of the 6-yard, Valdez himself, and then eventually Johnny Evans on the line. It was just completely ridiculous. It was hilarious. In fact, Johnny Evans even handballed it, and I don't know why Johnny Evans did this, but he went down straight. Why didn't he go down sideways? He could have easily stopped that, but Francis with the composure to just tap it into the corner of the net, and that means that we are now 6-2 up. It is a goal fest here. The game is pouring with goals like water out of a goddamn tap. And Falcao now gets it though. Van Persie's got it, and once more there's another one. I mean, both defences have played awfully, and both attacking areas have played fabulously. Van Persie with possibly the goal of the game. I mean, if I'm honest, that was a really good goal. If it wasn't for the assist of Bradford's first goal, which made it look so awesome, that's got to be the goal of the game. I mean, 86 minutes in, Van Persie beats Granger, really unlucky challenge. In fact, it megged him in the end. I did put a perfect slide tackle in. It's just, if it gets through you, when you put a good slide tackle in like that, it gets through you. But that is the game, and that is the final result. 6-3, 9-goal thriller. What a fabulous game. But we get the win, which means we are 1 step closer, 1/3 of the way to unlocking one of the beasts of FIFA. Oh my God, what a game it was. 9-goal thriller. I mean, there was really no trouble scoring for both sides there. Maybe our defence could have been a bit tighter, but you've got to say 2 of their goals were pretty good goals and pretty hard to stop. Larsson's out for 4 weeks, which is unfortunate, but handy, manageable, I would say, manageable for sure. So we've got the rest of this calendar month to go. September 2014 has 2 more games left, Stoke City and Southampton. So let's go ahead and advance. Sebastian Larsson's back from injury, which is early. The Man United game was, yeah, pretty early return for Sebastian Larsson. I'm presuming he won't make it onto the first team though, as he still has a plaster next to his name. We're going to have to bring in Page for this game, and I would say Page is probably more defensive. We've got a slide tackle, stand tackle. No, Tate is more defensive, so let's play Page in a slightly more advanced role. Not really too much more advanced, but Larsson's going to have to be dropped to the reserves for now whilst he recovers his injury. We've got Hall on the bench. He's actually gone up a rating, Hall, and currently I think this is the team that we're going to ride with for this game. We've got a Capital One Cup game as well that's been drew against Sheffield Wednesday midweek, so we will rest a lot of our first team strikers then, but for now this is our team here against Stoke. Hopefully we can get another victory. So as this game plays out, it is still 0-0. 15 minutes gone. Elsewhere, Man City are drawing Chelsea. Granger puts us ahead. The attacking left-back / left midfielder actually puts us ahead 1-0. And Stoke City seem like they are on the back foot. Tate gets a yellow card elsewhere. Bentner comes on for Bradford. Page puts us 2-0 up. Brilliant, brilliant work. Page, 2-0 lead. And there we go, a nice clean sheet as well. Moses, Juve and Bojan were incapable to score against us. So that's a nice 2-0 victory against Stoke. Let's keep on advancing. And now Ronaldinho, this is the problem that you can see with our unlockable players. Ronaldinho is saying that he's not happy because he's not playing, which is the problem, you see, because he should be playing really in our first team. But I can't do anything about that. As soon as I unlock him, which is hopefully soon, it's going to be before the January transfer window, I will start playing him, which means, well, obviously it means that he won't be sold, hopefully. Hopefully he won't be sold. So this is the team that we're setting up with for the game against Sheffield Wednesday in the Capital One Cup. I've tried to make it as weak as possible, pretty much, but this is the best we can do. I mean, we've got Foster in goal, Forcell, Bender and Dugari. I could play Zigic, but he's not really first team or second team at the moment, is he? He's only 64 rated. We've got Gardner, Tate and Page. They're only 3 centre mids at the moment. In fact, I might reconsider and bring Handy sides on. Even though he's a left midfielder, he can probably do a job in centre midfield because, well, he's got decent attacker stats, very midfield-like stats. He's not just a winger, even though he's very fast. He can play in centre mid, in my opinion. So, handy sides will do in centre mid for now, and that's giving another player a rest there, of course. But we've got no sub-centre backs, which is why we need to unlock Terry as soon as possible. So, for now, we're going to... In fact, kick me out. I would happily get kicked out. Sheffield Wednesday, go ahead and kick me out. I would happily get kicked out of the cup. It's just not necessary. And we just don't need the cup whatsoever. Even though it's in our objectives, this is a completely league competition, and 4-settle puts us in the lead. Brilliant. We will get kicked out eventually. I don't think we'll completely win the cup from simulation. But Birmingham 1, Birmingham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0 as Murphy gets a goal. Elsewhere, Chelsea are leading Middlesbrough, Norwich are beating Chesterfield, Aston Villa are beating West Brom, Forsell gets his second. So in that other West Midlands derby, and McGugan gets a goal back in the 90th minute for Sheffield Wednesday. So we ended up being 3-1, and Foster can't keep his clean sheet. Dugarry's happy. Of course, Ronaldinho isn't, because we need to unlock him before we can play him. Let's advance to the Southampton game. I suppose it's okay being in the cup. I'm just not really bothered about it at this moment in time. We got 1,000. So thank you, board. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate that massive amount of budget that will really help me buy players. Keep handy sides on, and then bring Gardner off for... Lawson's still got a plaster next to him. So let's not bring Gardner off. Let's stick with that midfield. And then everyone's pretty much full fitness. Let's put Govan on at right back. American goal as usual. Think that'll do. Yep, that'll do for now. I really want Womack to come back from injury. I really want to try this guy out. He looks insane. Unfortunately, we can't just yet though. So let's stick with that side for this simulation against Southampton now. So we've got a decent side out. In fact, they've got a good tally. They've won Swansea, beat Newcastle, but lost Leicester. So let's see how this game plays out. 0-0 early on, as goals elsewhere occur. But Tadic, Jurikic and Pella are up front for them. Still 0-0. Bit worrying going into the second half that we're still 0-0. Francis is on though. That could be a good sign of goals. Not just yet. Francis missed a penalty when he almost put Southampton 1-0 up. Handyside has put us level. Thank God I kept Handyside on. A bit of an average result, but we are away. You've got to remember that. And wow, that was eventful last 15 minutes. Francis missing a penalty. I was like, is this the first game where we're going to fail to score? Luckily not. And it's not the first loss either. We remain unbeaten so far, and we are actually still second despite that draw. So we are doing and running quite okay at the moment. Southampton are quite good as well. They are in 5th, so we can't really moan about that. They've pulled a few good results together. I mean, although Everton in theory could go ahead of us, mathematically it's unlikely. They need to win 5-0. In fact, they need to win 6-0 to go ahead of us if they are to win their game in hand. So, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure you smash that like button to unlock the next episode as soon as possible. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe. We've got FIFA 16 content coming as soon as FIFA 16 comes out, obviously. And then, for now, I will see you next time.